When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, let there be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be.
Thank you. My name's Ron Barnes, it says so right here, and it's a joy to share our daily word with you today. Our affirmation is, I relax into the infinite stream of divine life, and I am healed. There's a universal flow of wholeness, an inexhaustible and irrevocable stream of life in which I live, move, and have my being. As I close my eyes and relax into the remembrance of this truth, I feel the sweet ecstasy of bathing in divine love. The indwelling presence of God is my true identity. As waves of well-being gently wash over me, they draw out any anxiety, sadness, fear, and all beliefs in lack and limitation that have been cluttering my perception. My mind and heart are restored to the awareness of divine life. Love heals. Love frees me from any suffering that I might have been experiencing in my mind, body, or spirit. Love restores me to a deep faith in God's infinite presence, power, and peace. Resting in love's curative, life-giving waters, I am refreshed and revitalized. I am healed. O Lord, my God, you have healed me.
This is a day that the Lord has made, We will rejoice This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is a day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is a day, this is the day that the Lord has made.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you all for coming to join with us this beautiful Sunday morning. You made a wise choice to come here to Unity of Naples and worship with us. My favorite part of the service is where I get to welcome everybody here. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here at Unity of Naples. Your presence is a blessing to our spiritual community. So thank you for coming here, and be sure to invite your friends. Now, we are a dynamic community, and we have a vision. And I have faith that behind me is a slide that shows our vision. So I want you to read that silently first. And now let's speak this vision together using the power of the Logos, the power of our word. Together, we are a spiritual community of unconditional love. And we have a mission to carry that forward. So let's read that silently and think about all of the ways that you can be that love in expression, and you can carry that forward. Together, we inspire and awaken one another to a greater experience of God and life through the practical application of spiritual principles. And I'm sure you've had many thoughts that occurred to you how you can be love in action, be an inspiring person, and support the people in your spiritual community. We have an opening statement to help open our hearts and our minds, to give us impetus during the week to carry forward our mission. Let's read that together. Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. So no matter what challenges you face, no matter what circumstances you rise above, this week you're focusing on the calm peace of your soul. And that feels pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So now, let's greet each other in our spiritual community of unconditional love with a handshake, a hug, or a namaste.
Let's go. Okay. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. I am listening, Lord, kumbaya. I am listening, Lord, kumbaya. I am listening, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya.
Back to the first verse one more time.
Kumbaya, my Lord.
Everyone knows this one.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh, Lord. Kumbaya.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, we're still a little Irma, I see. All right, let's go again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? I'm feeling fabulous today. I don't know about you. I'm glad to be here this morning. I'm glad that you all decided to join us as well. My name is Todd Irby, and you know, I've had the opportunity to be a platform assistant for 7 years up here, and I have to tell you, the people that get to do this, thank you. We get very excited when we get the opportunity to be up here, and I try to think about why is that, and it's because when we go to church, we're reminded that next week is the potential to be the best week of my life, and Unity reminds me how much better my life is now than when I first came here years and years ago. So it's very exciting to be here, and it's exciting that you decided to join us. So thank you very much for being here. Jody DeSalvo was called away this week, and so we have a fill-in musical team, and I thought it was going to be Simon and Garfunkel, but apparently it's the last living remnants of the Partridge Family. Thank you. I wrote that one in the parking lot, but they're great. They're filling in, and they're doing a great job today. So if this is your first time joining us, we love to laugh at church. We're glad that you're here. If it's your first time visiting us, if you'd please stand up, we'd like to welcome you to church today. Yes, there's a few people. Please remain standing. Please remain standing over there so we can find you. And an usher will come over and say hello, right? Stand on up there. Don't be shy. An usher will come over and give you a nice gift and some information about our church. And if you'd like to learn more, there's a little card in there you can take to the bookstore after service, and they will give you information about Unity and a complimentary CD today as well, and we thank you for being here. Our board member of the day is the one and only Bob Cook. Everybody knows Bob? He's back at the console back there. We have board members available every Sunday in the gazebo, which is right there, the Brian Jones gazebo, right over there, so that you can ask questions about what's going on with the church, and they want to be transparent and let you ask questions and know exactly what's going on. So if you want to know more about Unity, ask Bob, and he'll fill you right in. Today is a very special day. Why is it a special day, you ask? Because we have a guest speaker. Today is Reverend Beth Head. She is here today, and she'll lead Practicing Spiritual Maturity in a workshop today at 11:15 here in the sanctuary. And anybody knows we all need to be a little more mature when we're in church. And Reverend Eileen is doing an announcement now.
Thank you, Todd. You know, no one is immune from the stress of Hurricane Irma, and no one is immune from prolonged stress and disruption in their lives. So tomorrow night, Monday evening, please join with me and Eileen Chernow for a very special workshop. We'll be holding it right in the chapel, and it has to do with psycho-spiritual stress relief. These are coping tools to help you manage well, to help you manage effectively as you go through cleanup, restoration, repair, and rebuilding. We want to give you some real strong spiritual tools to help you come through this process strong and spiritually intact. So please join with me and Eileen Chernow tomorrow night in our chapel. Thank you very much. 7 o'clock, 7 to 8:15.
Good question. So how many people here are a member of Unity? Raise your hand. Oh, that's a lot. For those of you that aren't a member, if you've ever considered joining Unity of Naples, well, we are offering next Sunday on the 15th a new members class. It's the 15th. It's at 11:30. It's in the fellowship hall. Anybody that's a member of the church will tell you how different their life is after joining. It's a very simple process. It'll enhance your life, and we invite you to join us and be a member with us. If you're interested, you can sign up today and fill out a membership card at the guest counter in the breezeway. We would love to have you as a member of our church. And Unity of Naples has rescheduled the ecumenical concert for Youth Haven, and it's going to be next Sunday after the class at 3 o'clock on the 15th, and it's here in the sanctuary. The music departments of 6 different churches here in the East Naples area will present their own unique musical offerings, and you can bring your friends and support a worthy cause for Youth Haven. And if you don't know exactly what Youth Haven is, you can ask us after church. We'll tell you all about it. It's one of the local things that we support financially and other ways in our church. Now you can join Reverend Eileen for a dynamic 5-week class. Everything she does is dynamic, by the way. I think so. And it's not regular prayer, it's dynamic unity prayer. And it's beginning Sunday the 22nd at 11:30. It's in the fireplace room. And the books for that class are available. And it is a required class for anyone wishing to join the prayer chaplain team, the silent prayer team, or our visitation team. And we are happy to announce that the Journey to Inner Peace retreat that we were previously going to have has been rescheduled for September, that can't be right, October 28th. I trust it's behind me. I'm sure it is. 22nd, is that what it says? Okay. It's back there. It's on the 28th. It was on the 23rd. It's been rescheduled to the 28th. And you can sign up for the guest counter today. Is it up there? Registration, yep. It has food. It'll be a lot of fun. So, for the men in the room, would you like to live the best version of yourself in the life you were meant to live? I would. If you had answered yes, like me, you can join Reverend Richard Rogers and an amazing group of great men, and they're going to create a life-changing men's retreat. You might remember Richard. He was about 9 feet tall, used to come here a few years ago, great guy. He's offering a men's retreat on November 10th and the 11th, and you can sign up with David Carg. David, he's here somewhere. There he is in the back at the events counter today. And the more people that register, the more fun that it's going to be. Clearly, there's a lot going on our campuses. We offer classes. We offer special things for you. We'd like you to participate. We have bulletins. We have a website. Is our email working? Not yet. Soon to be working email we used to have. And so there's information on classes. You can ask us. We'd love you to participate. And now, Eileen has another announcement.
Thank you so much, Todd. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker and the lady who will be presenting our workshop, Reverend Beth Head. Now, you guys are in for a very special treat because Beth is a magnificent Unity minister. I had the privilege of taking licensed Unity teacher classes many, many, many years ago at Beth Head's ministry out at Melbourne, and she is wonderful. Her church is wonderful, and I was incredibly impressed with Beth, and this was well over 15 years ago. But let me tell you a little bit about what Beth has been up to lately. Beth is an ordained Unity minister. Unity of Melbourne is her church where she has served for the last 18 years. And last year, they're a very successful church, they moved into a new location with a 16,000 square foot building. Now, how's that for success and manifestation? That's excellent. Beth has spoken at Unity churches throughout the United States, and besides being a guest speaker, she does training for the Board of Trustees. She's worked with our Board of Trustees very successfully, and she has been a consultant at various churches and has worked with them about financial reporting and accounting. So she's quite accomplished. Beth currently serves as the Southeast Region Unity Ministers Regional Rep and serves as the church consultant on the Standards team and the annual Summit team for Unity Worldwide Ministries. So you see, Beth works in a truly national and international capacity. Before ministry, Beth was a CPA, and she and her husband, Gerald, both have private pilot license, and they love to travel. So you're in for a treat when we listen to Beth speak today and when we all attend her workshop this afternoon immediately after church. But now, shifting gears, we don't want anyone to leave with a heavy heart. Should you need assistance with prayer support during the week, our spiritual coaching team is always available. Today, our prayer chaplains are here to support you after the service for confidential prayer support in the back of the sanctuary. And this is a wonderful way to receive confidential prayer support and also to celebrate answered prayer. And now is the time in our service when we ask you to prepare for a time of meditation. We ask you to please silence your cell phones, set aside any objects that you may have brought in with you, set aside any concerns that you may have brought in with you today. Get comfortable in your chair and know that surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. In the midst of his children, the Lord said he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel that same sweet spirit that I felt oft times before. Surely I can say I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. As we look out the windows, we see the beautiful greenery, the sunshine. I'd invite you to take a deep breath and just rest. This past week, our hearts have had trauma. We've seen the news. Even yesterday, we were worried about a storm hitting our neighbors. We've dealt with storms this week of all kinds. The storms that don't make any sense. But here we are this morning in this beautiful sanctuary, on this beautiful day, and with an intentional breath, taking a deep breath, and just releasing that breath, we settle into our chairs and we relax and we let go. And we remember that the presence of God is here. The presence of God is in Las Vegas. The presence of God is in Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia. The presence of God. We're always able to relax and rest in the presence of God. I think about my great-granddaughter who's just a tiny baby, 6 weeks old, and she lays in her mom's arms, and when I look at her, she is just totally relaxed. Every need is taken care of. You and I can be that relaxed. We can relax right now in this minute, knowing that our every need is taken care of. That nothing can disturb the calm peace of our soul in this place where we know and feel the presence of God. Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. I invite you to take that affirmation into the silence. Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. As we begin to bring our attention back to this room, we feel the chair. We feel the floor beneath our feet. And I invite you to let the light that's inside of you, to let that light just expand. To let it expand and to fill this sanctuary. Let the light and the love that's inside of you expand and reach out to all people so that they feel our energy, so that they know that surely the presence of God is where they are, because surely the presence of God is where we are. And so it is. Amen. And join us as we sing the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom has come. done on earth as it is in heaven. You give us this day our daily bread. You forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. You lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. I was struggling with a mighty problem. It kept me up half the night. The more I tried to overcome it, the more that I seemed to fight. So I asked a friend to help me solve it, something to give me an edge. But instead of joining the battle, this is what she said: are you willing to stop, step back, breathe and be open? Stop, step back, let Spirit guide your way. Are you willing to hold a place of not knowing what is next? Oh, stop, step back and breathe and be open. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. I said this all sounds a little bit crazy. Why would I just want to quit? She said, it's more like surrender. There's nothing for you to fix. In fact, there's not even a problem, though you believe that it's true. If you take some time to rest your mind, the answer will come true. Are you willing to stop, step back, breathe and be open? Stop, step back, let Spirit guide your way. Are you willing to hold a place of not knowing what is next? Oh, stop, step back and breathe and be open. Well, you can bang your head against the wall over and over. You'll always damage your brain. If you keep expecting the wall to fall down, well, that's a little something that just might be called insane. Are you willing to stop? Step back. Breathe in the open. Stop. Step back. Let spirit find your way. Are you willing to hold the place of not knowing what is next? Oh, stop, step back and breathe. Oh, stop, step back and breathe. Oh, stop, step back and breathe. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back.
Wow. Do y'all not have the best music? Thank you. There was a couple, and they were sitting down to dinner, and they were having one of those really kind of serious discussions. And the wife asked, she said, honey, if something happens and I go before you, do you think you'll date again? And he said, oh, after the loneliness and a time, perhaps I might date again. Do you think you'll get married again? Well, perhaps. Will she use my golf clubs? No, she's left-handed. I have a dearly beloved person who's been in the Unity of Melbourne congregation for over 55 years who sent that to me, and I loved it. So my question is, have you ever been the person that was in that song? Maybe you were struggling with a mighty problem that didn't seem to have a solution, and you couldn't find an answer. This morning's song has the perfect answer for that. And before we leave this morning, I hope that you have that song embedded in your mind. I want you to be singing, stop, step back, breathe, and be open. So let's see. Can you sing the chorus yet?
Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, whoa, just stop, step back. Whoa, just stop. Okay, get me into this. I forgot the song. Whoa, whoa, just stop, step back.
Here you go.
Help me out, excellent.
Actually, you got the part. It's where you're willing to stop, step back,
Sorry, now I got it.
Breathe.
I went blank there, sorry.
That's okay.
Bang.
It was perfect. It was perfect because you did. You stopped.
We did.
You stopped. You said, I don't know the song. Thank you.
I got it now, Coach. I got it.
We're going to come back.
We can do it.
Well, you're going to get another chance.
I got another chance?
You'll
All
get
right.
another chance.
We'll be ready.
So this song describes a spiritual practice. It's one that we can use whenever we are in a quandary. And the process, this spiritual practice isn't just useful when we have a question. I can think of so many times when I wished I had just stopped before I said something. I wish I had stopped and breathed before I did some of those things I wasn't supposed to do. How many of you can think of a time in your life when you would have been better off if you had just stopped for a moment, stepped back from a situation, and breathed and waited to let Spirit guide your way? There are all sorts of things. Maybe someone asked you to do something and you automatically said yes. And if you had stopped and stepped back and breathed, you might have said no. Or at least not with you. Has anyone ever said the wrong thing at the wrong moment to you? Maybe they didn't know it was the wrong thing. Maybe they didn't know it was the wrong time. And before you even thought about it, you had responded with words you wish you could take back. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe you've come home from work. You work late, you work hard, you come home tired, have a really bad day, and your spouse or your children, they step on that last nerve, and all of your stuff comes out. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul wrote in one of his letters, he said, "Why do I do the things I should not do? And don't do the things I should?" You know, Paul had one of the most dramatic Christian transformations. And as much as he had taken up the Christian flame, he suffered from being human, just like you and I do. Stuff. I'm using the word stuff to mean all those tough situations that we find ourselves in, for the times when we need guidance, for all those times when we speak or act in haste. Stuff comes up. Stuff came up for Abraham, for Moses, for David, for Jesus, for the disciples, for Paul, for our parents, for our parents' parents. Stuff comes up for us because it's part of the human condition. And I want you to think for just a moment about how your parents handled stuff. Did they get angry? Did they yell? Did they stuff it inside? Did they cry? Did they shut down and pretend that nothing happened? Or did they stop, step back, breathe, and be open? I see some heads going, not my parents. Chances are that whatever they modeled is how you react to stuff today, unless you've had many years of counseling, or you've been to ministerial school, where they try to urge you not to do that. You know, in my family, my mom cried at the drop of a hat. If she was hurt, she was angry. If she was embarrassed, she cried. If my sister and I were doing something that might have caused that, she pinched us right here. Now, my dad was different. My dad raged. He was a rageaholic. He yelled when he was angry or embarrassed. Or he pretended nothing happened if he felt hurt. I don't remember us ever discussing how to handle our emotions and our feelings. Did y'all have that discussion with your parents? No, I don't think so. The younger you are, the more likely you've had that discussion. What happens is we subtly learn those patterns when we're young, and we spend much of our adult life repeating those patterns. Or as we become aware of our own dysfunctional behavior, we begin to do some work on it. What did your parents do when they had a tough decision to make? Did they dither? Did they pray? Did they seek counsel? You and I get the opportunity to change what we do. We get to make that choice right now in today's time. And whenever we want to do something different, we have to become aware, and we have to remind ourselves to do it differently. Psychologists suggest that we need something called a pattern interrupt. I was conversing with one of my friends the other day, and he shared a story with me that illustrates a pattern interrupt. He works for a big company, and he said that when they go to meetings, and if they're put on the spot, that this engineering team, they didn't have a conclusion. If they didn't know the answer, they would just start talking. Talk. And his supervisor one day told him this story. He said that there was a student pilot getting ready for his check ride, and the flight examiner was with him, and the instructor prepping him for the exam said, "Do you have a pencil?" And the student said, "I have several pens and pencils." And the instructor said, "Do you have a pencil?" And the student said, "I have a mechanical pencil, a red pencil, a number 2 pencil." And once again, the instructor said, "Do you have a pencil?" And finally, the student got it and said, "Yes." And so my friend, after he heard that story, when he goes to a meeting, he carries a pencil and puts it on the table in front of him. And so whenever he realizes that people are going on and on and on because they don't know the answer, he looks at that pencil and remembers to just say no. Do you have an answer? No. Pattern interrupt. And so that's what I want for you this morning. I want you to have a pattern interrupt. The pattern interrupt that I want you to learn this morning is stop, step back, breathe, and be open. What I'd like for you to do is to have that song embedded between your ears. I'd like to see the words on the back of your eyelids. So now, can we sing that chorus again?
Stop, step back, breathe and be open. Stop, step back, let Spirit guide your way. Are you willing to hold place of not knowing what is next. Stop, step back and breathe and be open. Na 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 na, whoa, whoa. Just stop, step back. Sha na na na, whoa. Just stop, step back. Sha na na na, whoa. Just stop, step back.
It's so wonderful when you have a music team that can do anything at the drop of a hat. So this morning, after this lovely, peaceful, beautiful service in this gorgeous sanctuary, you'll have fellowship, you'll come to the workshop, we'll talk about spiritual maturity, and then you'll leave and go get in your cars. And you will be driving, maybe on Airport or Pine Ridge. I understand those are streets that have traffic. And that's where you're going to get your first opportunity to practice. Maybe the traffic will be heavy and no one will let you in. Or once you turn on the street, maybe, and you're on your way and you're driving safely and, you're leaving a car length between you and the car in front of you, and somebody cuts in. Maybe they do it even without a signal. Oh, yeah. Or maybe the car in front of you suddenly steps on their brake and begins to turn, again with no signal. And what is your response going to be? Stop, step back, breathe, and be open. Wow, you got it. And so if you're humming that, you will be able to respond from a more loving, calm place. And the truth is if you have a major problem, if you have a relationship issue, if you have a health challenge, if you have anything that comes up that would cause you to worry, if you are humming, stop, step back, breathe, and be open, you will be able to consciously lower your anxiety. And once you stop and step back from any situation, let me encourage you to breathe. In his book, Conscious Breathing, Gay Hendricks says, conscious breathing releases stress and tension. It builds energy and endurance. It contributes to emotional mastery. It prevents and heals physical problems. It contributes to graceful aging. We all want that. It manages pain. It enhances mental concentration and physical performance. And it facilitates psycho-spiritual transformation. Most of us would say that we breathe just fine, wouldn't we? But most of us don't breathe deep enough. And many of us are mouth breathers. It's what we do unconsciously. And unconsciously, there is a universal tendency to hold our breath when we expect or experience pain, when we hear a loud noise, when we have to exert an effort, or when we're under stress. Sometimes when I'm having my teeth cleaned, the hygienist will say, Beth, breathe. When we're in the midst of any situation, we can use conscious breathing to help us master that situation by consciously breathing deeply all the way to the bottom of our diaphragm and into our stomach. And then slowly releasing that breath. So I'd like for us to do that as a group right now, to consciously do that. So take a deep breath in. Deep, 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 and hold it for just a moment. And then slowly release it from the bottom up. Can you feel what your shoulders did? What happened to your shoulders when you did that? They relaxed, they dropped. It's an autonomic response that you relax. It's so important. It's how we eliminate 70% of the toxins that are held in our body. Breathe. Breath is how we get our energy. And then there's that be open part of that song. Oh my gosh. Have you ever noticed how hard it is for others to be open to us when they don't like our thoughts and opinions? Guess what? They're thinking the same thing about us. I bet that this is the root of all relationship problems. After 40 years, my husband Gerald and I have similar thoughts and beliefs about many things. So those things never cause us a problem. If we're going to cook gumbo and we're going to make a roux, no disagreement. We're in one accord. But there are times when we disagree. And we find that we have strong opinions, strong fixed opinions, and they are different. And then we have an opportunity to be either open and hear each other's thoughts, or we can react automatically and not be open. We have a choice. After 40 years, I think we've been making some good choices. I believe that relationships become long-term when partners are committed to being open when they come upon those places where there are differences. That doesn't mean that one person is always right and the other person is always wrong. It doesn't mean that one person always gives in. It means that partners learn to respect each other and learn from the differences. And why would I bring that up in a church? Well, church is a relationship. You have a relationship with each other. You have a relationship with your board. You have a relationship with your music. You have a relationship with your minister. It's all about relationship. The Bible says, judge not, lest ye be judged. And most of us know and understand that we're not supposed to look at someone's skin color and make a judgment. We understand that someone's sexual preference is not a reason for us to make a judgment. One sex is not better than the other. But I want you to consider that this morning, whenever we react to someone else's opinions or thoughts, and if we respond in a particular way, then chances are we are judging. It's a subtle lesson for us to learn, and it takes spiritual maturity to do that. You know, there are some things that need to be automatic. We want our breath to be automatic. We want our heart to beat automatically. But if we could take this song and make the decision to use it as a spiritual tool, I think that we would grow spiritually by being willing to examine some of our most automatic responses. Being willing to stop, step back, breathe, and hold a place of not knowing means to make a space for Spirit to be at work, to guide you and teach you. When we were children and we didn't know something, we were eager to learn. Yet as we get older, many of us begin to think we know most everything, or we really don't want to learn anything else new. like the person in the song, sometimes people say, I'm trying to decide what to do, to leave this job or stay, to leave this career or not, to move or stay. The person is obviously anxious to make a decision, and they obviously want to make the best decision. And when people come to me with those kind of questions, and as I pray with them, I am sometimes guided to say that it's okay to just relax and not make a decision. It's okay to not know, to just wait, to let Spirit guide them, to let something come up so that they know it in a way that is so clear that there's no decision that has to be made. I know that that's the absolute best thing to do, but that just doesn't seem like the way for some people. Sometimes people want the decision to be made now. As a church, you want a new minister when? Now. As a congregation, you don't like that place of being in a place of mystery, of not knowing. It feels passive when you're in that place of not knowing. But really, allowing ourselves to be in the mystery, to hold that space, means that we're holding open for the very best possible outcome. In August, I got the opportunity to go to Unity Worldwide Ministries, and I serve on the admissions team, and this year we had 40 candidates for ministerial school, and we haven't been having 40 candidates. And we interviewed 28 candidates. Each of those candidates came to Unity Village with a huge opening for a place of mystery because they didn't know if they were going to get in. And you know that some of them did and some of them didn't, but they were all in that space of being okay with what answer they got because they had been doing their spiritual work. They'd been doing their spiritual maturity work. And for the people that were redirected, they were redirected with, you know, it's not no, it's not now. Here's a place where you can do some work and come back and apply again. For those of you who watch The Voice, do you know, sometimes they'll tell a singer, you know, you've got a good voice, go work on it, and you can come back. How do we recognize those places where we need to be singing this song about 15 times? How do we recognize those places where we need pattern interrupts in our lives? Well, the barometer is your feelings. Anytime you have a feeling that you might label bad or negative, that would include feeling angry, frustrated, frightened, bothered, irritated, sad, depressed, or like we're banging our head against the wall. That's when we have that feeling of divine discontent. That's when we know we need to make some kind of change in our life, when we have those feelings. That's when we need to stop, step back, breathe, and be open. So can we sing that chorus one more time?
Sure. Okay.
Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Are you willing to stop, step back,
Thank you.
breathe and be open? Stop, step back, let Spirit guide your way. Are you willing to hold the place of not knowing what is next? Oh, stop, step back and breathe. Whoa, stop, step back and breathe. Whoa, stop, step back and breathe. And be open. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back. Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back.
One more here.
Sha-na-na-na, whoa, just stop, step back.
I know that some of you are thinking that this lesson is too simple. How does this lesson apply in a world where a sick person shoots 500 people, killing nearly 60? You and I can never understand what was going through that man's mind. There are no excuses for his behavior. Yet I would make a guess that he never learned that he was a beloved child of God. I'd make a guess that he never learned an effective way of dealing with the stressors in his life. I hope that you and I are never in a venue where we find ourselves being a target. I hope that you and I are never in a doctor's office receiving the worst news. I hope that we never lose a job, a career, or a relationship. But our ability to cope in life-changing situations is directly impacted by how you and I practice handling life's small situations. This week, I urge you to join me in asking that question. Am I willing to stop, step back, breathe, and be open? Am I willing to trust God? Am I willing to wait for God's guidance? Living and being on the planet here at this time means that we are experiencing some stuff all the time. Little stuff and big stuff. Sometimes stuff named Irma or Nate. If you and I will learn to stop, step back, breathe, and be open, the everlasting truth is that God will guide our way. Thank you.
You forgot your pencils. Thank you, Reverend Beth. Thank you for being here today. That was lovely. And thank the amazing, spontaneous gentlemen back there and ladies. So the ushers are coming forward. And we are each going to take our tithe, offering, or gift in hand, and conscious and awareness that this act, that we are as a group engaging the most powerful of universal laws, that of giving and receiving. We each bless these gifts. We each invoke good upon them. We open the flow of abundance to ourselves and to our spiritual community, and we prepare ourselves to receive all the good that God has for all of us. We all mindfully and gratefully affirm our offering blessings together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
There's a calm surrender to the rush of day, when the heat of a rolling wind can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless boy just to be with you. And can you heal the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. There's a time for everyone if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors, when the heart of this restless voyager beats in time with yours. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best.
And now we consecrate these offerings. We give thanks for all these free will offerings, all these tithes and gifts that bless our spiritual community, our beautiful campus of 28 acres. We give thanks for your love, for your generosity, and we bless these gifts. We send them forth to do the will and the work of the living Christ through this ministry of light. May these gifts go forward, ripple forward, and be a blessing upon the earth. Thank you. Amen. And let's call our beautiful children forward and let's walk them in the light. Come on, kids.
Walking in the light of God. We're walking in the light of God. Walking in the light of God. We're walking in the light of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the light of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the light of God. Walking in the joy of God. We're walking in the joy of God. Walking in the light of God. We're walking in the light of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the light of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the love of God. Walking in the joy of God. We're walking in the joy of God. We're walking. of God. We're walking in the joy of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the joy of God. Oh, we are walking. We're walking. We're walking in the joy of God.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. My name's Elizabeth Smith. I'm your Youth and Family Ministries Director. And we learned about release today through one more part of the story of Joseph. And to share, I have two friends. First, Ariana. Right?
Today we made the God's eye as a craft, which is this. And I'm going to read a little paragraph, which I think is very interesting. When a child is born, the father weaves the central eye. One eye is added for every year of the child's life until he reaches the age of 5. The resulting design in the shape of a cross symbolizes the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. The eye is meant to be the wand, which through the eye of God will see the parents asking for health and a long life for their children.
And Penny would like to add something.
And in our story, after Joseph has gotten thrown in the well by his mean brothers and taken away by the traders, he ends up being one of the king's helpers, but then the king's wife, I believe, told lies about Joseph, and then he ended up getting imprisoned. But then the king had a weird dream after Joseph had helped one of his friends in prison with his dream, and he got set free. And then the king told him that he had a weird dream. So then the king wanted to see Joseph about the dream, and apparently it was about for the food. For the next 7 years, they were going to have great food, and then 7 more, they were going to have bad and horrible production in the food. So Joseph became a very important role in the king's life. So who knew that he would go from being in a well to helping out in the palace?
What an excellent summary. I don't think I could have done better. So what we saw in our story today is Joseph had to let go of a lot of things on his journey through life, and he's not done yet. So we have one more chapter to go through, a couple more chapters to go through for the rest of our month. And another part of this was the God's eye is when we see the big picture through God's eyes, we can have faith that there's more going on than what we see just today. So thank you.
And now let's stand, join hands with one another, and sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And with our hands raised, our hearts wide open, let's send this blessing to bless every man, woman, and child on this planet. Let's bless our planet Earth as well. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you, and I'll see everybody back at 11:15. 11:15.